the nearly 5 some years that I've been here, haven't had a mouse. It's amazing. Haven't had to deal with a mouse. There's been no mice scurrying around or little fortresses filled with little mice babies hidden in any deep closet that I have forgotten to dig into in years. No, there hasn't been mice. But the other day, uh, we were digging a trench around the garage drain tile system. Saw a mouse scurrying around. Saw it scurrying inside of the garage. So today, I was just kind of digging through to see, because you got to check to make sure there's no mice palaces anywhere. A mouse nest. We actually have a tree that sits in the bag. And I'd asked my dad, I was like, is that the type of bag that a mouse would go chewing through? He's like, more than likely. Yeah, it could. I actually put some dryer sheets in there because my parents had actually told me that mice kind of hate dryer sheets, so I'd already put them inside the bag. And so my dad asked me about that, and I said I did. He's like, but you should still put it up in the rafters anyway, so I did. Kind of checked some other things, like have some golf clubs in there, which is another place that mice would probably love to chill in. But it's actually covered by a garbage bag right now, and same thing, I put some dryer sheets in there. So I've already kind of been thinking about this before, like, not that I ever had mice in the garage, but definitely think about it. But I'm sure a mouse in the garage is, like, more possible than, in a house, because it's way easier to access a garage. I think the only real way you're going to get a mouse in the house is if they just finally find a way in. And for the most part, there's, when we were working on this house, we made the foundation pretty tight. There's pretty much no way to, every little crack and crevice and little way that could be an entrance for a mouse was pretty much sealed up. It's sealed up pretty good, so the only way a mouse is going to get in is if the door's left open too long, I guess, but could get in the garage. So I was digging through today, though, because I just want to make one final check. And what do you know? I found a little mouse palace. It wasn't much, but there was definitely some buildup of garbage in the corner. It was behind some, we had some plywood sitting against the wall, which, given what wood prices are nowadays, that plywood is, like, priceless. I should try to auction that off, see how much I can get for a bid on plywood. But yeah, once you flip it down, little corner, against the wall, it's like a little shape of a triangle. Mouse can scurry through. There was a mouse nest there. Well, it was a buildup of garbage. I didn't really find anything that would say it was exactly like a mouse was living there recently. But having seen the mouse recently, while we were digging up the trench, I was like, yeah, it's probably living there. So took the vacuum, shop vac, sucked it up real good. It's gone now. Cleaned it out. I don't think that mouse was there today. I think it would have freaked me out. I'm not a fan of mice, but, I was suggested you should just get a mouse trap. I was like, I could, but, I think I know where it's at because I had already had a suspicion about where it was running, and it was kind of, you can't really see. There was so much wood over there, you couldn't really see the back foundation of the garage, and I was like, yeah, I think there's something back there, and what do you know, there was. I think by now, cleaning that out, the fact that there's not really any other kind of trash to grab at the moment, because, there are trash cans. I think the original reason that there was trash out was because there was a bag out at one point that I know was broken into, but that was years ago. So, now everything's like in garbage cans, so I don't think the mouse would come back because there's nothing to really make a nest out of now, and, everything was so shifted around, and, I don't think it'll come back. But I guess I don't know. If anybody has any mouse tips, let me know if a mouse would still come back after the fact, even if its home was destroyed, or maybe it'll retaliate and make an even bigger home with God knows, I don't know what. But there isn't really much left in that garage besides some wood, some tools, and, other supplies that doesn't really make for a good mouse nest. But if I'm missing something, let me know. I'm avoiding the trap because as much as I can act like a manly man about it, I'm not a big fan of mice, and I don't really want to see one in a mouse trap. And to all the mouse activists out there, if there are some, I didn't kill the mouse. I just destroyed its home. It can move next door. Just not in my house. That freaks me out. I've heard stories where people like wake up and there's like a mouse like running across them on the bed. And I'm like, how can it even get to that point? And they're like, well, I don't know, maybe it happened to you at one point. I'm like, holy crap, what if it did happen to me at one point? No, I can't sleep. Not a mouse fan.